Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm not going to lie, I just want to say welcome back to the Healthy Hustlers because that is like over 7 years of being ingrained in me. I feel like I say that sentence probably in my sleep, but it's actually welcome back to Magnetic with Madelyn. This is, I guess, the new evolution of what was the Healthy Hustlers. After almost 8 years, I decided to change the name, change the branding to really realign with our vision and the direction where we're going and what I believe is my sole purpose here on earth. I really believe that I'm here for human connection and for really allowing you to own your magic, for becoming your favorite version of self. And that's all what this podcast is about. The conversations we have is about helping you to unlock your favorite version of yourself and to truly own the magic that is you. Because when more women are owning their magic, the world becomes a better place. So I really hope these episodes and the conversations you hear here on Magnetic with Madelyn allow you to do that. But today we're going to talk about Justin Bieber. And that might sound so random for this podcast, but I have learned so much from his Coachella performance and I want to talk to you about it. And the reason why is because Justin Bieber actually really made me realize something from his Coachella performance. So to give you some context, in case you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have because it was like all over everyone's Instagram and all of his songs are actually now like trending on Instagram. But Justin Bieber was the headline act at Coachella. And I believe he was paid something like $10 million to perform. And obviously he hasn't performed on a large stage like that for a very long time. And he's been in the public eye. He's been, one of the most well-known people in the world since he was like 12 or 14. Crazy, journey and career. Absolutely incredible what he's done. And I guess now the person that he's become. But as part of this Coachella performance, he was obviously up against other massive celebrities who were doing these insane stage performances, lights and dramatic, outfits and all the things. And I'm sure as most of us realize, or what we might believe to be true, is that when you are, building something or expanding your capacity, it's always about doing better, doing more. And I think we can really get caught in that trap. And I know even from a podcast sense, it's always like, I will even speak to clients and they're like, oh, but I need to do it in studio. I need to do this. And I get in that trap too of like, oh, well, I've already been doing it for this long, so I should be at this point and I should be doing this and we should be doing better productions and more. But sometimes there's actually this beauty in not always doing more and instead honoring parts of yourself that got you to where you are. And Justin Bieber's performance just reminded me of a lot of things. And it actually showed me that one of my most important practices and things that I do is actually probably unlocking more than I ever realized. So to give context, he was the main act and like I said, alongside all of these people doing these high-end performances. And you would think someone like Justin Bieber, we would assume it's one of his first moments back on stage after a long time, like a lot of eyes on him. You would think like, yeah, he's going to come out with this like super high level performance and stage production. Instead, he walked out on stage with a laptop and a hoodie on. And he actually, in real time, sat there with the audience with YouTube on a big screen, putting his songs from when he was 15, 16, 20 into YouTube, playing them live to the audience and singing along with them with a red hoodie on. And you might, like, if you haven't seen it, you might be like, that is so weird. Like, why would he do that? But it was actually the most wholesome, beautiful thing to think that someone at that level who has achieved so much, who has now gone on to do so much inner work and to like build his character, has actually gone and honored so many parts of him that got him to this point. And what it reminded me of is a practice that I actually do, which I have spoken about and I refer to a lot, but one of my most favorite and loved things is actually to have moments of self-reflection, to go back to past versions of myself and to really just like thank her, like visual, like I'll just imagine her in my mind's eye and I'll just give her a big hug and I get like super emotional and I'm like, thank you. Like, thanks for getting me here. Like, thanks for, you know, what you did in that moment. Thank you for your mindset in that moment. Thank you for locking into your beliefs in that moment. Thank you for trusting yourself in that moment. Like, you led me here. You actually led me here. And so that appreciation for those versions of me who continued to show up, you know, when there was doubt, who continued to move when there was fear, who continued to, you know, nurture her inner world when like she didn't necessarily have the money to do that, or all of those things. Like, I go back regularly, but I also go back and visit my younger self a lot. And what I've really learned from doing that is like, and from also watching my daughter, we are all born as our most unique, magical selves. Like, we are literally born as these magical little beings. We're placed on this earth for a reason. We are actually given the life that we are living for a reason. And I truly believe that souls, us as souls, when we were souls, I believe that we chose the life that we're currently living. And that might be really triggering to hear if you have had a tougher life, but I truly believe in evolution, and I believe we're here multiple times over. I believe we will all be here again, just in a different body, having a different experience. And what we choose in this lifetime is the evolution we need to have. So I believe we choose our parents. I believe we choose certain paths based on where we are on our journey of evolution. And every lifetime we're having new lessons, new evolutions. And I've done a bit of work with like past lives, and I know this one for me especially is like a lifetime where I break a lot of patterns that I was stuck in for a lot of past lives. And that's getting very deep and very like woo, but I like love that stuff so much. And I believe so deeply in it. So you have been placed on this earth for a reason and with a purpose. So all of the things that you're being pulled to, that you're being nudged to, that you're feeling that like inner pull, that inner knowing to, that is your future self. Like, that is your higher self, your next evolution. It's actually pulling you because it's revealing the path that you're on in this particular lifetime. And so what I've realized is that like going back and visiting my younger self, and I see it with my daughter, like I see the way that she will intuitively like things, the way she'll want to dress, the way she, you know, responds to certain things. And I'm like, I visit myself at her age and I think, oh, I love just like dancing in the supermarket and wearing like wild, wacky clothes and like all of this stuff that I was just like so free and so me. And we were all that. We were all these magical little beings. But along the journey, that stuff gets squashed from you. And so when I was younger, I lived in a small town and I loved stage performances and singing on stage and wearing like really out there outfits and hats and all of this stuff. But, you know, that came with a lot of like show off, drama queen, she's too loud, she does this, blah, 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 attention seeking. And so all of these things just get pulled away from you slowly. It's like the layers just get ripped away and you just like slowly shrink in over time. And what I've done in a lot of inner work over the last few years is one, that reflection of like going back to versions of me and just like thanking her for what she did and how she's got me to this point. But I also tap into the younger Maddie, like Maddie that's like before she's 9, before she's 10, before the world told me what I should be and what I shouldn't be. And I tap into her and I'm like, I want a piece of her. I want to bring her back to life. And that is in the way that I self-express through clothes. It's the way that I will talk to myself. It's a way now, like I always dance in the shops with my kids. If there's a song on, I'll have a trolley full of food and I'll be like, oh, our favorite song's on. And I'll literally dance with the kids in the shopping center. And I'm like, I don't really care who's around me. I will film myself like doing certain things, film my outfit in random places because I'm like, this is who I am. This is a part of who I am. And it's like breaking that little cycle of like what I've been told I can and can't do almost from society and actually tapping back into me. So I would set yourself a little assignment of like, what are the younger parts of you that you loved, that you've actually let go of? What were the parts of you that were just like so vibrant, so fun, so magical? Because that's why you've been placed on earth, is to honor those parts of you, to really, really shine with those parts of you. So go back to that version of yourself and really start to like challenge yourself to how can you bring that back into your life? Is it through the way you dress? Is it through, the things that you get joy out of it? Is it painting? Is it doing like certain activities, pottery on a weekend? Is it going to singing classes again? Is it going to acting? Is it like whatever it is, how can you bring that back into your life? And so that's inner work that I've been doing the last, couple of years. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you're very similar to me because I have met so many of my listeners now over the years, and I know there are just so many common threads between us. So one thing that I really value is obviously health and the way that we feed ourselves as a family, the food that we eat. But sometimes time just does not allow for me to prioritize that as much as I would like. And that is the honest truth. That is honestly the truth, that sometimes time is not on my side. So 2 hacks that have really helped me to stay a lot more true to this. Also make sure that there's always a really healthy, nourishing snack in the fridge for my kids are these 2 game changers. So the first one is making a batch of chia pudding every Sunday night. It is the easiest thing that you will do, and it will save you so much time, but also guarantee that you are having something really healthy and nourishing to feed yourself or your children. Super simple. All I do is chia seeds, roughly a cup to a cup and a half. I put them in a big jar or some form of glassware, and then I add roughly 1 liter of cocoa quench from Pure Harvest. So I choose Pure Harvest because it is good for you. It is clean. It's organic. There is no preservatives, additives, gums, nasties like a lot of the other BS on the supermarket shelves. So I just put both of those into a jar and I whisk them with a fork. You do really have to make sure you get the kind of clumps out. So give it a good whisk, and then it goes in the fridge and it literally sets like jelly. And then all you need to do is serve it with either a coconut yogurt, muesli, some frozen raspberries. That's probably my go-to, and a scoop of collagen powder, and you've already got yourself a really nourishing bowl of goodness that is going to support your gut health and support your energy levels. And then for the kids, I literally just scoop out a few scoops of the chia pudding, put it in a container with some frozen raspberries, and I send them off to school and kinder with their little snack pack of chia pudding. If they're hungry after dinner, the only option for dessert is chia pudding, and honestly, they love it. They ask me for it all the time, and it is already ready to go in the fridge because I prep it every Sunday. And I say it lasts probably like 5 to 6 days. It never really lasts that long in my house, I won't lie. The second thing I love to do is actually to make my coffee the night before. One, this is a game changer for time, but also I really love eating breakfast before I have my coffee. So I brew the coffee the night before, just 1 shot. Then I add Pure Harvest unsweetened almond milk and a little bit of either their honey or their rice malt syrup. So both the rice malt syrup and the honey is found in a jar at your local Coles, Woolies or independent grocers, and a little bit of sweetener. Then first thing in the morning, I get it out. It's nice and chilled. I add 2 scoops of a really high quality collagen powder, give her a little whisk, and you have the most creamy, delicious, ready to go iced coffee. It is so good. You could obviously also do this with warm coffee if you want to add your honey or rice malt syrup, but it is so creamy and delicious, and honestly takes me about 2 seconds in the morning because all I need to do is add the collagen and give her a whisk. So they are 2 ways that I'm really boosting my nutrition levels, but also making sure that I have stuff ready to go so that time is not the reason why I'm not nourishing and fueling my body. So make sure you give both of those easy little hacks a go. You can shop Pure Harvest full range of organic natural products at Coles, Woolworths, or your local independent grocer shop Australia-wide. I've been choosing Pure Harvest for over 7 years. They are family owned, family operated, the most beautiful team and family of people. I absolutely adore working with them, but I also just love what they stand for. They honestly are the cleanest ingredients that are good for you and will support your health. When you're going to choose non-dairy milks, please make sure you're choosing Pure Harvest. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring another episode of the podcast, and let's get back into the remainder of this episode. But the reason why I brought Justin Bieber into the conversation today and what his Coachella performance showed me was like how powerful what I was actually doing. Like that was just kind of intuitive. No one had really told me to do that. It was just like intuitive stuff that felt very natural for me to do. But his performance really showed me that in a world of personal development or, always being better or always striving, it's often more looked at like forgetting the old versions of you or fully letting go of them. But I actually believe a lot of the magic lies in those older versions of you. You came to earth as who you're meant to be. And the more that we can actually tap back in to those versions of us and to actually have gratitude for those versions of us, that will unlock faster who it is you're becoming. Because for so many years now, society has told you, school has told you, teachers have told you, lecturers have told you, bosses have told you, parents have told you, friendship groups have told you who you should or shouldn't be, how you should show up, how you shouldn't show up. And so you have slowly put on all of these masks, all of this conditioning of I can't be that, I can't be too loud, I can't be too out there, I can't dress like that because I'll be a show off, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's mask and mask and mask and mask and mask and mask. And when you start peeling those masks off, that's behind that is the authenticity. That is who you actually are. That is you at your essence, at your core. But this takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience and kindness and gentleness with yourself. But Justin Bieber literally showed me through that performance of how powerful tapping back into a past version of you can be. So when he was 14 years old and he was performing on YouTube before the world got hold of him, before production companies started making money from him, before record labels probably basically destroyed him, he was just this boy with so much creative magic, so much creativity flowing through him. He was literally just a vessel for magic, and he shaped and impacted so many people's life through his music. And then the world got hold of him and told him how he should be, what he should do, how he should perform, all of those things. And that's his journey, not mine to share. But watching him on that stage, honor those versions of him and actually go back and sing with that version of him, I was like, oh, this is where the magic lies. This is actually where the magic lies. Removing all of those things that you've been told that you cannot be and tapping back in, honoring them, being grateful for them, loving on them. That will get you closer to who you're here to be. I promise you. And so I wanted to share that with you because I really felt like that was just such a cool moment where I was like, wow, these moments of reflection and these moments of actually like going back in, like I go into meditation and I like reconnect with Maddie, who was 7, and like what she wore on a certain stage and how she felt and the things she'd say. And I'm like, okay, how can I take a piece of her today? How can I re-bring that bit of magic into who I am now? And so I really want you to have a bit of fun with that. Like start going into meditation, into visualization, having moments of silence and connecting with that younger version of yourself. And then when things unlock, like me, for example, moving to the Gold Coast, like I've gone back and visited so many versions of myself and just thanked her, like, you know, hugged myself in tears when I was in the depths of postpartum, and I continued to just like strive harder and harder to like lock into what I believe to be true, to lock into my trust, to lock into my faith. I go back and thank the versions of me who believed in the 777 and the 888 before she had any evidence of what it actually meant or where it was leading her. I just go back and thank those versions of me and connect with her. And it's such a magical practice. And I honestly believe that like it will build so much confidence in you doing that, that you will realize how much you are always being communicated to. You're always actually being guided if you allow yourself to be. The other beautiful thing I took from Justin Bieber was his song Hallelujah is obviously trending at the moment. It's always on Instagram and people are making these trend reels around like all the things they're saying hallelujah for, which I love and so fun. But as a result of that, the song is like constantly in my head. I wake up and I'm like singing hallelujah. And so what I've actually started to do and play with is the moment I wake up, because it's already on my mind, I'm actually saying hallelujah for all the things that I'm grateful for and I have abundance for in my life. So the last few mornings I've been waking up and I'm like, my kids are happy and healthy, hallelujah. I live in the place that I love so much, hallelujah. I have the most beautiful, supportive friends and family around me, hallelujah. I do work that lights my soul on fire, hallelujah. You know, I have the most beautiful spiritual beliefs that have unlocked so much magic in my life. Hallelujah. And I remind myself, hallelujah, of all the beautiful things that are happening in my life. And I finish with everything, hallelujah. Everything, hallelujah. And then I repeat that when I've been going to the beach and watching the ocean. And that beautiful little practice has been so much fun because it's such a just catchy, beautiful song. But to put your own spin on it of all the things that you're saying hallelujah for sets such a beautiful tone for the day. So that's another fun little ritual you can lock in. You can just go and listen to the song a few times over and it'll definitely be in your mind whenever you wake up or go to the toilet in the middle of the night like me. But yeah, thank you, Justin, for giving me those beautiful lessons. And I think honestly, we can learn so much from those around us who we don't even know. So I'm always kind of locking in and looking at, what can I learn from this person? What can I take from this person? And I just think that his Coachella performance was just such a really cool moment to realize that we don't always have to be evolving at this rapid speed. We can actually just be so proud and so grateful for the person that we actually are and for what led us to this particular moment. So please remember that. And thank you for being here. I love you and I'm so grateful for your constant support. And I'll be back next week with another episode of Magnetic with Madelyn.